So one of the things that we wanted to do is that we wanted to revisit a lot of older subjects, right, from our podcast. So the first episode, 50, first episode in 50, we went over the first 5 episodes. So with this one, I want to take a look at just the next 5 episodes after that. And I was listening to those, and I went ahead and I grabbed one topic that interests me. And one of the topics that interests me is something from our episode, I believe it was called Disconnect. And that was all about information silos, where it was just like right now we get all of our information from the internet, whether it's like news, hip hop, whatever it is, like everything is coming from the internet. We're not looking at any other media source for like our information. Now, what happens when you do that, right, is that you get these information silos, and that's what we was talking about last time. Now, I want to refresh the subject by asking you guys this question, and this is basically, is there anything that you noticed disappeared when you stopped paying attention to it?
Give me an example. What do you mean?
So I'll give you some background. And so this was so for a moment, and Tony and I went to college together, and one of the things that we were studying was film. And when Tony and I was studying film, we were very much into an information silo that was all about DSLR filmmaking. Because when we were in school, that was kind of like a hot thing to do. It was like, yo, if you have a DSLR, you could go ahead and you can make movies, you can make music videos, you can make all these things. Now, when I was in that like realm, I swear to you, everything I saw, everything that I like came across was pertaining to that. It was like if I go on YouTube, I had a bunch of like movie editing tutorials that were like queued up for me. I had a bunch of like, this is how you edit DSLR footage to look like film, you know what I mean, all these tutorials, and this is how you do this effect on After Effects and all those things. And I don't know if you remember, there was this guy called Philip Bloom, which was like one of the, like, he was like the biggest, for me, he was like one of the biggest dudes that was doing DSLR stuff. And then another dude that was doing a lot of like DSLR editing, DSLR footage editing and stuff like that is the fucking dude Andrew Kramer. I think was his name.
Yeah. I dove heavy into Andrew Kramer. That he made me want to deep dive into like After Effects things. Like to the point where I even bought one of their packages.
So, and my question is, so this is an example of that, right? So Andrew Kramer would do that for you, where it's like you stop following that DSLR stuff. When was the last time you heard of Andrew Kramer doing anything?
Yeah, I'm sure his website is up. I haven't heard anything. I have not. It's been a couple of years, but I'm not seeking that information anymore. So,
and that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is like I find it interesting how things disappear when you're not looking for them anymore, and that shit sounds very obvious, but it's not that obvious. Like, it's like you stop paying attention to a particular artist or a particular genre or a particular item or a particular like way of life, and all of a sudden when you stop paying attention to that, it seems to no longer exist.
Yeah,
I can speak to the counterbalance of that. So like I remember in my experience of like, oh, if you get a new car or somebody you know are very familiar with gets a new car, you start seeing that car everywhere. Like, you start paying attention to it. So if you're not paying attention to it, it's like it doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I got a Toyota Camry. So now all I see is Toyota Camrys. Or I got a Ford Escape. All I see is Ford Escapes.
So, like, you know how, like, when some people say, like, yo, it's like synchronicity. As soon as I think about something, it's like all of a sudden it's everywhere. So it's kind of like whatever's happening, no matter what, like, you know that. So, like, for example, like you mentioned the Toyota Camry. So it's like, let's say you want to buy a Toyota Camry. All of a sudden, everywhere you go, you see a Toyota Camry.
Right.
Why does that happen?
I think because it's already in your subconscious. So you're just looking, like, you recognize it more easily because it's already something that's tangible for you. Now when you're looking for it,
so
and you make that connection in your brain, like you just draw the lines.
So it's like whatever's big right now is completely like what's the word I'm looking for? Objective, or like
I don't think objective
it's specific
is the word,
to perspective. Like it depends on your perspective. So what is something that's really big to you right now?
Something that's really big to me right now.
Like, what do you care about?
My dude.
And I feel like we're revisiting the same thing again. It's like
Kendrick Lamar.
I'm very interested in knowing what the fuck you motherfuckers care about.
Kendrick Lamar. I think Kendrick Lamar, like,
Really?
when
That's
anything
like-
that like music wise that comes from Kendrick Lamar, I want to hear. And I think the Black Panther album
That's
was 10 times better than the movie.
That's not particularly what I'm asking. What I'm asking you is, if you go home right now and you have your computer in front of you and you're on the internet and you're looking for whatever it is, entertainment or information, where do you go? What do you watch?
First, I always go on Bleacher Report. That's my, like, 100 time a day thing. Like, I'm always looking up stories about the Knicks.
What's it-
basketball,
what's
NBA.
it-
Basketball for me, like, that's my thing, is basketball. Like, that's what I love to, I'm always looking up basketball.
What's interesting in basketball right now?
What's interesting about it's the Rockets, the Houston Rockets, and how they're competing against the Golden State Warriors, and like what's going to happen with that? Because Golden State is supposed to be, the greatest team of all time.
Wait, how is basketball season still going?
82 games.
Yo, and that's the difference with like silos of information. Like, did you even know basketball season was still going?
I thought after the championship is done, the
Championships
niggas-
haven't played yet. We
Wait.
still have like 16 games left in the season
wait
until
so,
the playoffs. 16 games till the playoffs.
Oh no, that was Super Bowl. My bad. Damn.
Yo, but that's what's funny about it, and that was a topic that we touched back on that episode, which was called Disconnected, and it was all just about like how there's all these silos of information where you feel like you're surrounded by these things, and it's like this is the biggest thing going on in your world, and you think that it's real, when in reality everybody's world is completely different.
Completely.
Yeah, like right now, me and Tony is talking, Zeke is texting, and this is the second time this episode, bro. Like,
It's not just me, bro.
it's really just you.
It's not, though.
It really is, though. It really is. You're texting, you're smoking your vape. Why are you still texting? Like,
But
could
why
you not take a break
why are
for an
you
hour?
Am I interrupting you?
You did interrupt me because
No,
I was
you
talking.
interrupted you.
Well, no, I was talking to
What's
you.
the next topic?
No, I'm fighting with this nigga. Can I fight with this nigga?
No.
I'm fighting with this nigga.
You ever watch the Michael K show? I watched the Michael K show, and with Peter Rosenberg, he's on his phone. Don LaGreca, he's on his phone. Michael K, he's on his phone. Those are the biggest personalities in fucking talk show history.
And they all suck.
They don't, though, because they're one of the biggest shows ever.
What's the show called?
The Michael K show.
Exactly.
The Michael K show.
Yo, let's move on, man. Zeke's getting me mad, bro. You gotta stop it with the phone shit, bro. Just take a break for an hour and a half. Just be like, yo, listen, look, I'm recording a podcast. I'll talk to you later. That's it. That's it. I don't understand what's so difficult about that. But let's continue.
Yo, where's my phone?
I saw you on your phone earlier, nigga.
Where's my
You were
phone?
on it earlier.
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
'cause
you were. Were you
my,
look- I'm
my
gonna-
phone is
I'm gonna-
recording.
yeah, yeah.
My phone is
I was
recording.
gonna say, let's go look back at the
Yeah.
footage on his phone.
Like, what you
Get your
talking-
footage, nigga.
Yeah, what
Hold
the
on,
fuck
wait.
are you talking about?
See, I saw you on your phone. You press record, nigga. See this right here? You press record, nigga. You put it down. You were on your phone, bro.
All right.